Hello and welcome. This is lecture number 16. In this lecture we will discuss on Dijkstra-Banker's algorithm. The name for this algorithm was chosen because this algorithm can be used in banking system to ensure that the bank never allocates its available cash such that it can no longer satisfy the need of its all customers. So firstly bank ensure that how many cash it has, then it start executing the requirements or need of the customers. Several data structures are maintained to implement bankers algorithms. So let's write what is the data structure used in bankers algorithm and what exactly the algorithms are. The name for this algorithm was chosen because this algorithm can be used in banking sector to ensure that bank never allocates its available cash to all customer without getting assurance of limited cash. So in order to achieve the Dijkstra-Banker's algorithm, we have to use many data structure, and we required some data structure which implements the algorithm of Banker's algorithm. So several data structure are maintained to implement Banker's algorithm. These data structure encode the state of resource allocation system. Let n be the number of processes. We can have n number of processes in the system, and m be the resource type. Here resource type indicates we can put number of instances of one type of resource, right? Suppose printing is one type of resource, we can have an instance of one printer, right? So if we indicate the printer P, then we can have number of resource type P1, P2, P3, so on. Printer 1, printer 2, printer 3, right? The first data structure which we required is available. Means it is a vector quantity. It is a vector of length. A vector of length m indicates the number of available resource of each type. So availability shows that how many resources we have, including types, right? Second data structure used in the Banker's algorithm, that is max. Means n cross m matrix defines the maximum demand of each process. Demand, I mean to say that each process have its own demand, maybe some process required 2 printer, maybe some process required 4 printer, 1 scanner, right? So every process have its own demand or requirement of resource, so we should allocating that resources to a process before thinking some points. Okay, this is max. So max is process demand, you can say in short. It is a maximum demand of process about the resources. The next is allocation. Allocation, that means n cross m matrix defines the number of resource of each type currently allocated to each process. So allocation defines the matrix which indicates that how many resources of each type currently allocated to each process, right? Suppose process P1 required 2 resources like 2 printers, and 2 printers were free, and we allocate to process P1. So allocation is process P1 equal to 2 printers. In the same way, if we have n number of process, we can allocate n number of resource of each type. But again, the point has to be remembered, the allocation of resources of each type of to each process, that should be taken care very wisely, right? We cannot allocate resources to the process before thinking that is our system is in deadlock or not, right? So after allocating, our system should be in safe state, otherwise we avoid to allocating the resources to the process. So allocation is a matrix which defines the number of resources of each type currently allocated to the each process. Now the fourth data structure is need. We will use that data structure in our algorithms. So let's understand what is need. So n cross m matrix defines or indicates the remaining need of each process. So it defines the remaining need of each process. So suppose process P1 required 4 printer, but still currently we do not have 4 printer, we have 2 printer. So we can allocate a 2 printer, and the process P1 is still required 2 printer for their complete execution, right? So process P1 will wait in a waiting queue and waiting for the resource, that is type printer, and the number of resources is required in 2. So need indicate that the remaining need of each process, right? This is 4 steps and 4 data structure we mostly use in our algorithms and numericals, right? Now the formula which is very important, that is need of ij, will be calculated max allocation of ij subtraction allocation of I and j, right? So maximum minus allocation will gives a values of need, right? So first we have to calculate the need of each process, and how it will calculate it. We have given a maximum value, maximum resource type, maybe suppose a type, let's write it so that you will get properly. Maximum allocation like 10 5 7, right? Here 10 is of type 1 resource, and 5 is of type 2 resource, and 7 is type 3 resource, right? So type 1 resource we have 10 instances, of type 1 resource we have 5 instances of type 2 resource, and we have 7 instances of type 3 resource, right? So these are instances, 10 instances of type 1 resource, 5 instances of type 2 resource, and 7 instances of type 3 resources, right? So we can define the type like A, B, C. 10 resources of type A, 5 resources of type B, and 7 resources of type C, right? So this is maximum allocation we can take as an example here, and the allocation is the resource allocated to the process, right? So maximum allocation, maximum resource, and the allocation resource that will be subtracted and gives the values of need. Still, what is the need of process P? So if we have 4 process, we can calculate need of each process via subtracting maximum minus allocation, right? For example, process P0 maximum is suppose 10 5 7, and allocation is suppose 0 1 0. So we can calculate the need of process P0 like 10 5 7, that is maximum resource, maximum available resource, minus 0 1 0, that is the allocation. Maybe previously the resource will be allocated to the process P0, but it is not complete, it is not being completed their execution, it is still required some resources, right? That is the basic concept of need of resources. So process still have need for the complete execution, so the basic need of process P0 is 10 minus 0 comma 5 minus 1 comma 7 minus 0, right? So need of process P0 equal to 10 minus 4 minus 7, that is the need of process P0. We can calculate like that, right? 10 minus 0, 5 minus 1, 7 minus 0. Subtract each entity to each, right? Now that is the need. We first calculate the need, then we will proceed further. Now these data structure vary over time in both size and value. These data structure are used by following algorithm, which are the part of Banker's algorithms. Resource request algorithms. So let's write it. Resource request algorithm